ورحمة الله وبركاته جميعا. Today's talk is going to be completely in English, I believe so, inshallah ta'ala, with Dr. Faizal. So I have to introduce him by English. As you know, we are running this is under the supervision of the University of Technology and Applied Sciences, branch Bصحار, and we are today in the on the workshop number 13. All right. The workshop under the title of Top 5 Mobile Security Issues. It's given by Dr. Faizal. And Dr. Faizal, he is a lecturer. He has PhD in computer sciences. He has over than 19 years experience on teaching students, and also his research area is in security, big data, IoT, cloud computing, and machine learning, and also hybrid networks. He has given a number of different workshops for the industry, and he also managed to publish a number of papers, national and international. Dr. Faisal, how are you?
Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thanks so this is the only word I can speak. Yeah. Yes, Dr. Hila?
Yes, thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you. So I have to be happy, and the pleasure is mine actually. So, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
My viewers, and you can start.
Yeah, thank you very much. So this is really a wonderful opportunity to provide you, or even it's not being providing something. It's something we are joining with the mission of Dr. Hilal to have 50 workshop. Really, it's inspiring everyone actually. So initially, I talked to him about to join this event. He said Arabic, but I can join in English with the interesting topic. So then I suggested some topics, and then he chose this topic to deliver. Anyway, this was very inspiring as at the same time motivating the event actually. So my topic I'm going to is, am I audible? My voice is clear. Is anything just you can make over? Okay. Is it clear? My voice is clear. Am I audible? Let's start. Yes. Okay. Thank you. So thank you, Dr. Hilal, for this great, wonderful opportunity. And I will start now with the top 5 mobile security issues. This is a really serious issue we need to consider, because nowadays these data are very much important for everyone to do business, and the sources of data is from our side. Actually, it's a consumer, or you can say users, and we are very one or the other way careless in maintaining our data, especially the data is going on in so many ways in that case. In social media, in WhatsApp, we are just clicking and sharing all this information, and whenever we want to communicate in the blockage, block area of network, like calling up or chat over it's non-granted or unauthorized app. So it means that we are more vulnerable to this kind of attacks. Actually, the security, we are falling to the security issues, and really we are the victim of those attackers. And the other fact is the online transaction. Really, this is now going very easily and smoothly. At the same time, it's very dangerous as well. So we are not to discourage any of the progress, but we need to have a little bit consideration while doing this actions, especially when we are using the mobile phones or mobile devices, because these mobile devices are very faster enough to handle any kind of services and processing speed, and it is far better than our laptops. And it's one of the costly device, and we buy, and we need to have little attention on the privacy and what data we are sharing, where we have to share, and what kind of targets audience these attackers are following up. So this is what we are going to discuss today. Actually, my slide flow will be about the security issues, top 5 security issues, and then we move on to the targets, the audience who are all affected by these attacks, and what is a solution we can give. Actually, so practically we can speak, but this we can in the virtual conference, virtual webinar, we can have a very limitation to show, but I will have some screenshot that I will show you that how we can protect and from our side. So these are the top 5 trending attacks, security issues, that is data leakage and unsecured Wi-Fi and broken cryptography, phishing attacks, and spyware. And if you see these words, or it's not much what you call it's not new words or not familiar. I mean, it's kind of familiar words to us. It's not a new words anyway. It's kind of very familiar. Leakage, data leakage. We are just to open our data to everywhere. It's like Instagram, Facebook, and other places that we are sharing our photos, but the data, you need to see that it's luring, or we can say it's kind of open up our privacy to the world. Like, we are very much socializing. It doesn't mean that we need to show everything to everyone. At the end, we are very much anxious, and we are falling on depression and other areas of our health issues. So those need to be considered very, very important, where, whom, and what we are sharing, and even the location we are sharing. And wherever we go, we share our location. Wherever we post, and then it's shared to everyone, and everybody is seeing things actually. So here, the data leakage and unsecured Wi-Fi. If we discuss about unsecured Wi-Fi, is your password of your Wi-Fi access point, and also we connect to the hotspot of Wi-Fi in everywhere, and people are attracted to use Wi-Fi internet, and it's totally it's unsecured. And there are a lot of reported cases of attacks in this area actually. Especially we have very good hotspot for mobile charging and Wi-Fi connections. So those are very, very difficult to block, but we are in a need of accessing it. For example, we go into the cafeteria, the Wi-Fi is free, but what is going on behind the screen, we are not aware of it. So once the data is exploited, once the data is put up in the internet or something, then we will know that there is something went wrong in our communication. So this is the case. And then broken cryptography. Broken cryptography is something, now if you look at if you go to App Store, you will see a lot of VPNs, actually, a lot of free VPNs. So what is the point in having a lot of free VPNs? They are providing you to make access of blocked content and access of blocked calls and video chat. Everything is possible. So are we doing the right thing? No. So we have legitimate VPN services, but in countries like Oman or some places, it is blocked. Like WhatsApp call is blocked, and there are kind of situations. So we must go with the rules. And but when we use this kind of VPN, free VPN, to overcome, or we consider this VPN to remove the block of those restriction, then really we are one of the victim of those attacks. And definitely there are millions of people are falling into this area of attack, and nobody knows what is behind exactly. And maybe we don't have much data. Maybe they don't want our data to be used. That is the case we are escaping. Otherwise, if there is an intention of bullying you or stalking you, it's really easy for the attackers to do. And then phishing attacks, we are seeing every day a lot of spam emails, and not only emails but also SMS. So this kind of things, it's very annoying. At the same time, unwanted emails. It's like sometimes we lose the legal mails, thinking that those are spam reporting and unsubscribing, but really actually that these mails looks like real genuine mails. And also there are SMS start coming these days, that's you won $100 or 100 Omani Riyal, or your ATM card is blocked, or so many messages are coming up. So these kind of things also kind of phishing attack. And then spyware, we are now using our children on e-learning or mobile learning, or they are online now. So you see that while the teachers are teaching, and then the students are in the other side to communicate with their friends and playing games, it's happening now. So these areas need to be considered very seriously for making them understanding that what is going on, what need to be downloaded, what need to be avoided. All those things need to be taught to the children, so that they will be aware of that actually. So these spywares can be downloaded to your mobile phone, and this can be very easily the attack victim actually. So can anyone tell me this, what's going on here in this SMS window? smashing. What is this? Have you ever received such messages? Are you aware of these, dear participants? Are you aware of this? What is this exactly? Is it a legitimate message? What do you think? Can you share it in the? It's an attack, yes. Yeah, many of them are received, yes. So it's kind of things. They immediately they take you take all your information and to get into the system, and they can transfer your amount. Actually, it's like an ATM update. It doesn't require, actually the bank never ask for any kind of such things, and that must be aware of that. And there are another window. It's like you have just $100 gift card, and they click here to claim. It's kind of, again, it's luring the people, especially like youngsters. They send, actually they have a plan of kind of audience, or we can say the victims. When we are youngster, we are in need of money. So in such cases, they just spread this message and send this message to have victims in this area. So eventually the students area, we will have a lot of attack. So that's a good news, that we are aware of some kind of things, and we are receiving a lot of SMSs now, and that need to be considered very carefully. So I want to just to categorize this speech with 4 categories, like students, children, adults, and aged. So how these people are fall into victim, like students, what they will do, and children, they play game, and adults, and especially the grown-up, they are the one to use the media very often, and they will be using them for so many reasons, and they eventually fall into that victim as well, actually. And then aged people, the literacy is lagging, because our grandfather, they are using the smartphone, and the technology is it is very vast, and so many things now abstracted. Now it's so much of things, so many things are abstract in fashion, or in view. When you view these mobile phone, latest mobile phone. There are so many things are hidden, that those features are, even we are literate, and it's very difficult to practice those setups. But we want this kind of education for these people, and where these people fall into victim, and that's very important. And those things need to be considered. And I will fix these 4 category of attack, I mean the victims, into all this area. Okay, so I will be just will not be giving much of theoretical, but I will just discuss about how we can protect of all these areas. So that will be interesting in this webinar actually. So if we see that some victims, I mean some facts, actually we want to know that why we have these mobile security issues, and especially you see that the elderly people are too much victimized because of their smartphone usages. And their mobile usage, it's really the cost around $30 billion. It's each year on online scam. They just to pick up the phone and answer everything, without knowing the background of the people. And it's really very, very serious. And and then it's a 9,54,000 estimated elders. They already they are very much financially getting into hardship because of this mobile phone security, because everyone has it. So another thing, that children is especially school children, or any children that who uses mobile phone. It's again the prevalent, I mean covert bullying prevalent study in May 2009. It's like a lot of children are bullied by their friends, and a lot of mimic and other things. Okay, so much it is happening with the children also. So these studies are showing that we need to have kind of setup for mobile application that need to be considered very important. And then you go to the adult, that you can say that grown up children, or you can student, or you can say that adult age, that their condition is they are in urging of all sort of usage, like, okay, and they install all the software they want and to access anything. So this is the area they fall into victim, like Trojan horse and spyware, worms, and those software will be downloaded or will be traced by other phones. Especially phone stalkers, and they will be just installing application in your mobile phone, and then easily they can trace out what communication you are making, what kind of transaction you are doing, your OTP, your everything can be stolen. So especially these group of audience are more vulnerable when you look into the mobile phone security. And then you come to the students. It's kind of again the risk area that they are very much putting themselves into this area, clicking the information that they receive, and it's like a spoofing data that comes into the mobile phone, and then that will be exploiting eventually the victim. Like one of them is short message services, like phishing attack through short message services that I have shown you. So these are the various facts that makes the mobile security issue is one of the very important things we need to consider in our day-to-day life. Yeah, some work we will do that. So here the practical area, we are coming to the practical area. The Wi-Fi stalkers software around actually. So this you need to monitor actually your home around. Okay, when you look around your home, if any of any stranger browsing internet and speaking to someone, which looks very strange, and then you need to have look at your access point, how fast it is blinking, how fast it is being used, and your data become very slow. It means that somebody is hacking. They are using software to attack your Wi-Fi password, and that is connected actually. So it's very important. Everyone has that a Wi-Fi access point, and that need to be filtered out with the very good password. Actually, it's not a password with 6 or 7 characters. It's minimum you need a 10 minimum or 10 characters minimum, maximum of 15 characters. It can be known words, but you need to mix up and put up in the system. Otherwise, the software, the sophisticated software, it's a highly advanced mobile application that can easily crack your Wi-Fi password, and it can automatically connect those access point easily, and the stranger can easily get into your network. So one of the example I want to show you here, I want to tell you, actually it's not showing that. So the other day I want to just to help one of the worker came to my house to fix the plumbing job. So he looks very very poor, and he needs some support, and he's accessing the network. It looks to me he's accessing the 4G network. When I asked, voluntarily I asked him, do you want my Wi-Fi connection? Then he accepted, and then he gave me his mobile phone, and then I see, surprisingly, my mobile access point is already connected with him. Then how it's possible? I just asked him how. My password is really it is around 10 characters with 1 or 2 special character and capital letter with numbers. Everything is there, but still he is able to connect. It means that his stalker software, it's a Wi-Fi hacking software, is already being start searching my Wi-Fi access point, and then it is connecting it and connecting with the stranger. So really surprised. I asked him that. He said that there is a software that they can use it to trace any weaker password. They can get into that. So how to block this way? Actually, how to block this way? You need to know the MAC address of your mobile device, and you can filter it. There is a option in your access point, and then you can just open with your username and password, and then you can get into the access point, and you can deny, allow. Okay, if you allow, only those MAC address will be allowed. If you are sharing your Wi-Fi with someone and who used and who left the premises or your house, you can immediately block them. Otherwise, they can go back and use it. So this is one of the way to do that, and this can be done in your mobile phone. So this is the first exercise. May I know, any of you know that how to get a MAC address of your mobile phone? How to get a MAC address of your mobile phone? Yeah. What if one really do win your prize? Hassan, yeah, that is a different issue now. The prize winning is different issue. Okay. Sir, is anybody knows that, how to get your MAC address of your mobile phone? Is there anybody knows that they can speak out here? How to get your MAC address? Is that possible to?
Generally, I think it's in the settings of Wi-Fi.
No, in your mobile phone, mobile MAC address.
Yes, mobile phone, same, I think. It's for Android and iPhone, but it's in the settings of Wi-Fi, I believe. Because generally, that's where I find it.
It's a device. It's a device MAC address we need. Put it to
once you are connected with some Wi-Fi, then you can go into settings and then you can find out. I believe that's how I find out.
Yeah, actually, it will be flooded with the Wi-Fi if you are connecting 10 devices. Usually now we have more than 10 devices at present working on that, actually, in accessing the Wi-Fi access. But you have the Android device. You have, when you go to the settings, there is a about. Then you can see the MAC address of those devices. Am I right? Is there anybody to answer this? In Apple phone, anybody to share their thoughts of how to get to the MAC address? And
Hi, sir.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Fatima, ma'am.
Can we dial some codes and get something like email? Yeah.
Email.
Email. IMEI. Something
Okay.
like
Yeah. That's a thing. Yes. Yeah.
dial
Yeah.
something. Yeah, and get a MAC address. Is it possible?
That will give you the device ID actually. That's a device ID. This is the MAC ID, okay, Media Access Control ID. That is purely belongs to the MAC, the device. Yeah,
No,
it is.
I don't know.
Yeah. So anyone?
Yeah, Dr. Faizal, in both cases, in Android and in iPhone, when I click on the connected, Wi-Fi, for example, right now I'm connected with my laptop. So when I click on that and get the information, it gives me the MAC address.
Yeah. Actually, in the laptop, in the laptop there are different settings. So in the laptop, you have Ethernet setting. There is a different MAC address. There is a Wi-Fi. There is different MAC address. But in the mobile device, you have only one MAC address that is shared in the mobile application like Wi-Fi and GSM or mobile network. So it's the same. I can just tell you that you just go to the Mr. Omar Al-Badi said that do it through Wi-Fi settings. Yeah, Wi-Fi settings you can just do filter, but you allow sometime you have lot of MAC address connected already, and you can just to say that say some stranger IP MAC address also, that is also allow him to come inside. But if you just to configure the MAC address by individual mobile entity like your mobile phone, it's very easiest way to do that. Actually, it's there in the mobile device. So if you see that media access, it will be showing that in especially in the settings in the Android. You can just go to about of the mobile phone, and it will show you all IMEI, everything, all the device setup it can show, and including MAC address. At the same time, if you go into the other area like iOS, the same way you have to go to the general settings, and then you can just see that the device addresses, like especially all kind of addresses, you can see that connection oriented things. Actually, that's the main thing. Actually, you need to find out the MAC address and then see it and put it inside. And here I have shown you that the PC MAC address, how it look like, and how you can enter inside the MAC filter in the access point. So this is unsecured Wi-Fi, and you have to secure yourself. Otherwise, the data and whoever is connected, they can easily, the stranger come into the access point, and he can access all the devices that is connected into the network. That's and also he can put the spyware. It's like a rootkit, or you can say the Trojan horse, and they can take away all your information and send to the attacker. And it's kind of things happening, and it's very, very important to consider one of the mobile risk. And then you see that YouTube content management. YouTube content management, this is one of the another issue. We need to have the restricted mode open, especially children. When the children using mobile phone, you need to be very careful that that they can access any content, because they are very novice, or we can say they are very very lame, and to be access any content, but without knowing. Actually, we are very aware of that. We are mature enough to tackle those content actually, and we see different content flowing, and the suggestions coming very frequently based on the content we browsing in the YouTube. And this is again, it's totally vulnerable for the children. When we are at home, it's better to have this restricted mode. That mode should be on. That's the best thing you can, as a parent, you can do for your children, to make this restricted mode on. Otherwise, the data will flow in all sort of content, and it's very really vulnerable. And that's the kind of mental things involved in this. And so content management is very, very important. This is our second exercise. Like you have to go to the YouTube content settings and then just enable the restricted mode, and then you need to have but still no filter is 100% accurate. That say that the application itself, they say that no content is especially content filter is especially or 100% accurate. So what is the vulnerable things happen is the attack and phishing attack can come, and the spyware can come, and the it's I mean the data flow automatically, they open up new links, and some of them are linked to your software download. Some of them it goes into the application area and install applications in your mobile phone. So this is a very important area you need to consider. This is the second exercise you need to consider. It's one of the very dangerous. The privacy setting, it's one of the important thing. We need to see what is the privacy setting. It's not only in the mobile phone, but also in your laptop. Your laptop is like a mobile device now, and you see that the privacy option should be off. Okay, one of the privacy, let's app use advertising ID to make ads more interesting to you. It means that the Google and the companies, advertisement, companies, they take your behavior, internet behavior, the browsing behavior, and they can easily take information from you and then float all the data based on your interest. So this is again one of the important point you need to consider. All of the area need to be set no access. It should be private mode. Okay, this is the mobile privacy, and this will reduce the data leakage, and also your behavior, data behavior. If you see that your Google spam folder, you have a lot of emails. It's based on your search, based on your interest, and they send a lot of business advertisements, business emails, but that is not required at all. So still Google is using it, but they are put it in the spam folder, but it's all related to our for example, I want to transfer money. Okay, immediately the money related things all come into your spam folder. So people say that I have $1 million, brother, sister, you share with me your account, and we will settle in foreign countries. So much of information coming through this kind of the area. So you need to just to hold the privacy setup completely to be private, so that you can avoid those area of attack. You can reduce the area of attack. Still it's 100%. It's not sure about all those areas. The children social media privacy. So this is controlling them, kind of the students, children. We can make them control how much hour every day the children is using, and then screen time, downtime, and then app limits. Okay, so what app we can use it, what app we can how much time it is used. So now if you go to the screen time, you can easily understand how much time a child use WhatsApp, and what kind of application he browsed it. So all those things will be put it in the screen time. And the app limit will be also very helpful. It's a provision. It's available in all the mobile phones, and that must be enabled for especially the children when they are in online learning mode. So this is the one kind of set of practice you need to make it very clear. And the picture in the photo sharing of Google and Facebook and Instagram, whichever area you share your photo, that must be private mode. There is no compromise. The account to be private. If you are making your video or your picture online, it's a public mode, then you are very much prone to bullying by others. So that's the area you need to consider very, very carefully. And then broken cryptography, that's a VPN. So this is what I was discussing from the beginning, actually, that installing free VPN is very dangerous and inviting attacks. in all spectrum of your internet browsing, like it's just to browse the internet, how to open blocked website. It's coming a lot of VPNs, and the people are very much vulnerable in the youngsters and the children, and they can easily use for this VPN, and it's very easy to install as well, and they can just get into the system, and and the attacker has the complete information about you, because once the VPN it's already private. VPN is virtual private network. It is how it functions, like your mobile and the server. It's completely private, and even the Omantel cannot invade your connection. It's a completely encrypted form. But what happens if it is a legitimate VPN? You are less vulnerable to get into the attack. But if you are using, there are script kiddies, like children who develop VPN, or the people with no knowledge, with minimum programming knowledge, and they develop a lot of VPN applications that are in the system, in the App Store or in the Play Store. And once you download, these things will be exploited, and it's really your data is leaked, and you are getting into all sort of attacks. So you need to be very careful about it. So how we educate those elderly people? So you have to encourage them to use login credential very often, and they ask them to use the valuable information very secretly, and not to share with anyone, especially credit card. So that need to be educated actually. And also you have to tell them that what scams look like WhatsApp, they send a lot of links to get into the system, actually get into the attacker system, and those things need to be considered very, very careful about avoiding scam or falling victim into scam messages. And deadly phone calls, especially the business representatives, they call you to ask the detail about you, and they may come in a different form, like they can get your details using spoofed or you can disguise manner, and then they can easily get all your information. Especially elderly people, they are very much vulnerable, because they trust everyone who help them, especially those people with working with them, and they are one of them are like they are caregiver. Okay, the elderly people caregiver, they can abuse them very easily actually. That's the things we need to consider carefully. And some of the tips, very, very top tips I can give you, that is the password. The password for your area, it's need to be highly protected. Like you see, I have put Manila hash low cost 3 ginger. It's like almost 20 characters that combine to give you the complete what you call the password. It's not easy to break, but still you need to remember this. It's very important. It's to remember this password, or if you make spelling mistake, it's again you are not able to open up your device, and again get into trouble. But make sure that you are using a password that gives you all sort of password parameters to be filled, and at the same time it is easy for you. It's not we are afraid of the attacker and having a very critical password, and later we forget everything, and then it's finish off. All your job is it's more than the ransomware. We can say the ransomware. The ransomware, what they do, they encrypt all your data and put the password, and then you need to pay money for getting the password to open your own content, and that's not 100% sure. After paying money, they may demand more. So this is the ransomware password. It's like ransomware password if you forget your password by yourself. And especially me, I have lost a lot of data because of the children try to open up unknown passwords, and the data become totally blocked. So this is very important. And also, you need to, as a professional, we need to filter your social media accounts, remove birthday and address, mobile number. These things no need to put up in the Facebook or Instagram, wherever you are using social media kind of things, and need to be considered very low profile and be always in the private mode. Or you can just switch between private and public mode to have conversation. And then Google and Apple, they are providing a lot of multi-factor authentication. So multi-factor authentication, it's like a captcha and one-time password. Then you can say your biometrics, and you can say your PIN number, and then you can say the pattern mode. So much of multi-factor authentication, and also the one-time password sent by the server from the origin from the Google or Apple, that is more effective in terms of your protection of your data. And create a separate email account for social media sites. That's another thing. You can protect your social media website. So it's one of the important thing you need to consider when you have social media interaction with your strangers or your people and your group of friends. So because when you share with your friends, that is extending everywhere. So then the next thing is, think before you click. Double check the legitimacy of suspicious web link, and whenever get your SMS or mail, you need to consider very carefully which link you are connecting. Especially children, you need to be very, very careful, and you have to educate them, because they are now in the online. You need to consider very careful. And then back up your work always with the legitimate service provider like on OneDrive and Google Drive, Apple iCloud. These are the various business provider. They are providing with a lot of security, and their environment more safe and secure. This need to be considered very, very careful for mobile communication. So that's it from my side. If any questions, you can just post. Thank you. Is there anybody, any questions?
Dr. Faisal, just one question. It's kind of remotely connected though.
Yeah.
Any general knowledge or any news on how good these mobile softwares are, these companies are on their promise that they save our fingerprints? Sometimes we use fingerprints on mobiles to save data, to secure data. They claim that the fingerprint is only saved locally. So are they really good on their promise? They do save it locally?
Yeah, see, actually, there are many applications allowed to access the fingerprint of our mobile phone. This is what your question, right, sir?
Do they really save it locally, or do they save it on their servers?
They will access the module from your mobile phone. That's it. And the access is given to only legitimate application like Momental. You can open your application through your you can enable it is kind of things allowed. I mean, the understanding between those application used by Apple phone or whatever the phone manufacturer and the application provider. So whenever you use that, it is allowed to access those particular module. So it will be protected, highly protected. Whatever security you have in your mobile phone, the same provision is given to that application also. So it's not given to everyone. Actually, it's not given to everyone. So those applications are safe, actually, very, very safe.
Also, my fingerprint, the fingerprint data is sitting only in my phone.
Okay.
Is that true, that my fingerprint data is only sitting in my phone and not going anywhere else, like in iPhone servers or?
Sir, it's kind of talks came once the National Security Agency asked people to, I mean, Apple to open one of the mobile phone. They denied, actually. They denied. And, it's eventually, it is stored inside your mobile phone. At the same time, the Apple has the the rights to access their code also. I mean, it's an algorithm, right? It's an algorithm, and it is mainly for the device. It is running on inside a device module actually. So your question to be shared, whether it is in the Apple server or in the Google or whatever mobile provider server, it's need to be investigated, sir. But that knowledge is not much with me. But the main idea, when they ask to open the user's mobile phone, the company denied actually. Is there anybody can share this thought? Any of your thought?
Yeah, just one more point on this one. I asked the reason. The other day I checked my Amazon Fire TV stick.
Okay.
And interestingly, I found that they have saved my Wi-Fi password in their in my online account.
Okay.
They have saved that. It is not only in the stick; it is saved in my Amazon account online. So,
okay.
Although I don't find any reason for Amazon to save my local Wi-Fi password to be available in my online account. Why would they do that? It's a local Wi-Fi. I cannot use it anywhere else in the world. But they did anyway. So why would they do it? They didn't ask me. There was no option for me to check that whether I want this to be available online in my account, but it's not available online. So things like that. That's why I asked that, is iPhone doing the same? You know, they told me that the fingerprint is only saved locally, but who knows? They are saving it somewhere else, you know, in the servers or something.
There are business secrets.
Yeah, Amazon did it.
Sir, this Amazon is saving, I'm using the Apple Fire Stick. What they are initially they are doing, they are asked us to connect to the Wi-Fi when we connect this device, and then it is directed to Amazon account actually. So it means that we are acknowledging the Amazon account to be openly use our Wi-Fi stick actually. So it means that all your information settings will be stored in the Amazon account. So what happens if you are using in somewhere, it can be differentiated. It's kind of user support, but you may feel vulnerable. But the Amazon again, it's one of the strong, secure company that provide a lot of services, and they are in the top in the market, and only because of their service, secure services actually. So it's mainly for they are using to provide you easy access to their Wi-Fi stick, and even so, for example, you are moving to country, but it may not be useful because you are using another access point to access your Fire Stick, but they use for some analytical purposes actually. I mean, otherwise they are not going to use your Wi-Fi password for anything, or they may support you in case of accessing or you forget your password. They may give you all this option to fulfill your connectivity issues. So that is the main reason. Actually there are so many things. The system is now optimized, and there are so many things in abstract level actually. It means that the users are left not to know anything, but you will get the service 100%. That's the idea is going on now. So everybody is giving smart service. Smart service, it means that they are getting a lot of information from the user, and then they're providing the access to their service. So this is kind of troubleshooting and technical issues when they face, and also the system automatically detect and solve some of the time. Sometimes you have problem with your Wi-Fi, I mean the Fire Stick. So this is what I believe. As I read those manual, and what I understood, and this is what they are providing. It's not only Wi-Fi. You see that a lot of magic is happening when I use my laptop and the Android device or phone device. See, it is directly connected, and you can have the latest Huawei device. You can have your mobile phone and incorporated inside your laptop actually. So it means that you are having lended your mobile device to your laptop. So that's purely they are communicating actually. So this is what my understanding here. Anybody else can share your thoughts? Yes, Alsan, sir.
Thank you. That covers.
Yeah. Any other question from your side? So if nothing is there, then we can wind up. Dr. Hilal. Dr. Hilal. Do you have any other question? Yes, Dr. Hilal, we finished, Dr. Hilal. Thank you.
Thanks, Doctor. Thank you so much for your talk. And inshallah ta'ala, we gonna listen to the feedback from the people also in the common events, inshallah ta'ala. This workshop has been already recorded and it's going to be available on the YouTube, okay? And we're going to publish it on the website, which is the URL of the website is cutt.ly/Oman2020. Okay, Doctor. Thank you so much, Dr. Faizal. The mic is mute, Dr. Faizal.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
It was a great pleasure, Dr. Hilal. This is a great opportunity you gave me this to share my views on the security field. Actually, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Doctor. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, guys.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum very much.